Welcome to another exciting episode of my.na Cars with me, your favorite passenger princess, Diana Master. Today we are at Tyre Smart and we're learning all about tires. We're going to learn about wheel alignment. We're going to learn about balancing and everything that you need to know, because hey, every time you drive your car, you don't actually know what kind of effort goes into making sure your tires are safe for the road, and that's what they do here at Tyre Smart. But stick around, we'll get into that right after we get into our motoring news.
If you should come upon an accident, prioritize safety by moving to a secure location and calling emergency services. Provide first aid if trained, protect the scene with hazards, and exchange information with involved parties. Document the scene, gather witness information, and then cooperate with the authorities and share any information you may have. Always prioritize safety and act responsibly.
And now getting into our motoring news. Suzuki dethrones Volkswagen as South Africa's second best-selling car company in April. Suzuki Auto overtook Volkswagen Group South Africa to become South Africa's second best-selling car company in April. Although Suzuki edged past the Volkswagen brand in February this year, it still fell short of the Volkswagen Group's overall sales that also includes Audi figures. April saw the Japanese carmaker take second spot overall with 4,891 sales, narrowly beating the VW Group's tally of 4,758. However, both were still far behind Toyota's total of 8,541 sales for the month. Despite the gloomy economic times, South African vehicle sales ticked slightly upwards in April, gaining 2.2% versus the same month in 2023. A total of 38,172 vehicles found homes last month, according to NAMSA, with passenger cars a total of 25,972, gaining 6.1% year-on-year, and light commercials 9,646, losing 9%. Volkswagen's Polo Vivo was the nation's best-selling passenger car in April, with 1,776 units sold, narrowly beating Suzuki Swift's 1,725 units, as well as Toyota's Corolla Cross with 1,573 and Toyota Starlet with 1,148 units sold. Volkswagen's second best-selling product was the Polo, which sold 822 units, while the T-Cross managed 439 sales. Suzuki's runners-up were the Baleno 659 and Espresso with 335 units sold. On the bakkie front, the Toyota Hilux narrowly outsold the Ford Ranger with 2,094 sales versus 2,073, but it was still enough to secure fourth place for Ford in the overall manufacturer ranking. Suzuki's shift to second place overall, although indicative of the country's thirst for affordable cars, is not necessarily something for South Africans to celebrate, as the Japanese carmaker imports its products almost exclusively from Maruti Suzuki of India. Volkswagen builds over 10,000 Polos a month at its Kariega plant in the Eastern Cape, most of which are for export, and the operation employs almost 4,000 South Africans. Although Polo exports are set to dry up later in the decade as the hatchback is being discontinued internationally, VW recently invested 4 billion rand to build a new compact SUV product at its South African plant. Getting into our next story, limited edition Mitsubishi Triton Shogun touches down in South Africa. The all-new Mitsubishi Triton is set to hit South African shores, although we don't know when it will hit our shores here in Namibia. In South Africa, it's set to hit second half of this year, but the local importer is not finished with the current generation just yet. Announced this week, and it is a new limited edition flagship model boasting its own mix of unique features. Priced at 809,900 Rand, it costs 1,000 Rand more than the Triton Extreme. On the outside, the Triton Shogun gains a set of black alloy wheels shod in 18-inch all-terrain tires, as well as a raft of matching black body embellishments. These include a front bumper garnish, as well as headlight, tail light, and fog light covers, roof rails, and a unique Shogun sports bar positioned over the load bin. The limited edition model is also fitted with a tonneau cover, tailgate lock, and tow tow bar, but buyers will have to pay extra for the matching nudge bar. Inside, the leather steering wheel, seats, door trim, and floor console all feature red stitching. Interior specification is as per the regular Triton 4x4 model, but Mitsubishi had added a Sony sound system in the mix. Power comes from the familiar 2.4-liter myVerk turbo diesel engine that offers up to 133 kilowatts and 420 Newton meters. It pairs with a 6-speed automatic gearbox and Super Select 2 4-wheel drive system. Now moving over to some Mercedes-Benz news. Mercedes-AMG's potent CLE53 now available as a drop top. Yes, the Mercedes-AMG CLE53 was unleashed in coupe form last year, and now the potent mild hybrid model is available as a cabriolet. Rolling on 20-inch wheels and featuring a wider track up by 58mm in the front and 75mm at the back versus the regular CLE cabrio models, the new drop top has a more purposeful presence to go with the increased performance. Like its coupe sibling, the CLE53 4MATIC Plus Cabriolet uses an extensively upgraded version of Merc's M256 3-liter straight-six petrol engine. This new M256 version, with its optimized combustion chambers and higher boost turbocharger, produces 330 kilowatts and 560 Newton meters, with an additional 40 Newton meters being on command in overboost mode for 10 seconds. The 48-volt mild hybrid system can also briefly liberate an additional 17 kilowatts and 250 Newton meters. Power goes to all four wheels through an AMG SpeedShift TCT 9-gauge gearbox and fully variable AMG tuned all-wheel drive system, and rear axle steering provides a further dynamic boost to this performance drop top. The new CLE53 Cabriolet brings our hallmark AMG performance into the open air. The powerful 6-cylinder, the sophisticated suspension, and the variable all-wheel drive make it an incredibly dynamic car with a wide spectrum of usability, said Mercedes-AMG Chief Executive Michael Schieber. Inside, the leather seats have a special coating to prevent them from overheating in the summer sun, cooling the surface by up to 12 degrees in direct sunlight. On colder days, occupants are kept cozy by features like the air-scarf neck heating fan and air cap electrically operated wind deflector. AMG Performance seats with wider bolsters are available as part of the Pro Performance package. Tech features in the CLE53 Cabrio include 11.9-inch vertical touchscreen infotainment system and 12.3-inch digital driver display, while 64-color ambient lighting is offered as an option. We'll now take a quick ad break and return with some more cars news.
To test if your brake lights are working, with the help of a friend, start your vehicle, press the brake pedal, and confirm both left and right lights illuminate. Check hazards, indicators, and the third brake light if applicable. Replace any faulty bulbs, and if issues persist, consult a professional. Regular checks ensure your brake lights communicate effectively on the road. If you're on your own, use a wall or garage door to check for reflections.
You're still watching my.na Cars. Continuing with our cars news / motoring news, Chinese car sales skyrocketing in Botswana, reject expensive Western options. Chinese cars are gaining traction on African roads, particularly in Botswana, where they've become increasingly popular. The surge in Chinese automotive presence coincides with China's extensive infrastructure investments across the continent. Prominent Chinese automakers like Chery, Haval, and BAIC Group have established a foothold in Botswana, capitalizing on the growing demand for affordable and technologically advanced vehicles. With the influx of Chinese cars like the Haval H1 and the H6, the Chery Tiggo series, and the BAIC Beijing X55, job opportunities have emerged in the automotive sector, providing a boost to the local economy. Despite concerns about the build quality of Chinese cars, these vehicles offer significant upgrades compared to older models prevalent on Botswanan roads. Chinese automakers are tapping tapping into this opportunity by offering enticing warranties and modern features, attracting customers away from the traditional brands. China's investment in Botswana's road infrastructure, totaling over 5,200 kilometers, has further solidified its influence in the country. At events like the Shell Gaborone Motor Show, Chinese brands dominate, offering competitive prices and cutting-edge technology to eager buyers. Now, as Botswana's middle class expands, the prospect of Chinese electric vehicles filling its roads becomes increasingly likely. With China's deepening involvement in Africa, the impact on Botswana's automotive landscape is profound and far-reaching. We'll give you more updates as they come. Now, of course, we have to, if we're talking cars, we have to talk F1. Now, McLaren's Lando Norris pips Verstappen in Korea's first F1 win. McLaren's Lando Norris clinched his maiden Formula One victory with a stunning triumph over reigning world champion Max Verstappen at the Miami Grand Prix. In a remarkable turn of events that injected excitement into a season that risked being dominated by a single driver, Norris emerged victorious in his 110th race for McLaren, crossing the finish line over 7 seconds ahead of Verstappen, while Ferrari's Charles Leclerc claimed third place. Verstappen, who had clinched victory in 4 out of the first 5 races of the season and led the championship standings, started from pole position. The race initially appeared to follow the usual script, with Verstappen leading until lap 24 when he made a pit stop, temporarily handing the lead to Norris's McLaren teammate Oscar Piastri. However, Piastri also pitted a few laps later, allowing Norris to seize the lead, which he maintained for the remainder of the race. A crucial advantage for Norris came when he pitted during a safety car period at lap 30, giving him a significant time advantage over his rivals. The safety car was deployed after Kevin Magnussen made contact with Logan Sargent, resulting in Sargent crashing into the wall and prompting yellow flags. Capitalizing on the opportunity, Norris held onto his lead despite Verstappen's efforts to catch up, securing his long-awaited first victory in Formula One. The McLaren team celebrated by lifting Norris into the air, marking the end of his quest for a win in the sport. "It's about time, huh?" remarked Norris. "I knew on Friday that we had the pace. Today we managed to put it together. We had the perfect strategy. It all paid off. I guess a lot of people doubted me along the way. I've made a lot of mistakes over the last 5 years, my short career, but today we pulled it all together, so this is all for the team." Expressing gratitude for his team's support, Norris highlighted his belief in McLaren, stating, "I stuck with McLaren because I could believe in them, and I did believe in them, and today proved exactly that." As Norris pulled into the pit lane, he was greeted with applause from his team, congratulations from fellow drivers, and cheers from the crowd gathered at the Miami International Autodrome. That brings us to the end of our motoring news, but we have more my.na cars coming your way right after this break.
I just want to warn our road users to please be careful, drive careful, rather arrive 5 or 10 minutes late at your destination than to speed and to make accidents or be involved in accidents where you can be seriously injured or somebody can lose their lives also. So be patient.
I am joined today by Leon. We are at Tyre Smart and he's the owner. How are you doing today?
Fine on yourself.
I'm good. Thank you for allowing us in and for giving us a little bit of insight. So start us off by telling us a little more about what you do here at Tyre Smart.
Tyre Smart is a tire shop. We do new tires fitment, we do repairs, we do balancing, we do wheel alignment. So basically everything with a tire we do. And then we do service for free for clients. Our service will work, we take off, we do not do a survey on the car, we take off the tires so we can see the inside, outside of the tire if there's damages. And yeah, that is what we do.
And how long have you been in business?
Tyre Smart itself opened only the 1st of March, so we are quite a new company, but I've been in the motor vehicle industry for 21 years, or not the motor vehicle, the tire industry for 21 years, and in the motor vehicle industry for 28 years.
Okay, so since you've been in the motor vehicle industry, why did you choose tires specifically?
So I don't know. I really don't know. The first place I've worked for was a accessory shop, and then we started off with tires, and we took it from there.
And you just took it from there.
Yeah.
So where would you see Tyre Smart going in the next few years? What are your big dreams and ambitions for Tyre Smart?
My big dreams and ambitions for Tyre Smart is we are already opening a new branch in Oneuptwo in August month, and then we want to go over to Oshikati side. We want to grow our business in Vendu, and then we want to put out places in the whole country.
I see. All right. So since Tyre Smart is fairly new, have you experienced some challenges? And if so, what have some of those challenges been?
No, of course, we've got the challenges. There's a lot of tire companies. So our main focus is to give clients service. And we want to give our clients service, and I think that is the most thing that people need is a good service.
Good service.
Not a service in shop, a service after hours. And
So would you say that's what makes you stand out? Because like you said, there are a lot of tire shops. So why would people come to Tyre Smart?
I think of our service.
Yes.
We've got good prices, and we've got knowledge, and we've got a good service.
Okay. All right.
That we want to put out there.
So we are looking forward to seeing everything that you do here, getting the hang of everything, the ropes, how you do wheel alignment and all of that.
Okay.
So we are definitely super excited. Thank you so much, Leon.
So thank you so much for being here.
All right. Stick around. More my.na cars coming right up.
First of all, we will take off the tire from the vehicle. Then we'll do inspection on the side walls for any bulges, rim damages on the inside and on the outside. Because you do get sometimes that the tire is still looking good on the outside, but the inside is bulges or repair on the outside. Then we do the frets itself. Just going through, turn the tire around, see for nails in the tire, see for puncture holes. So you see there's a white mark, so we mark the tire so we know exactly where we started with the tire. Then we do the fret check, and we measure it on the outside, middle, and on the inside. And according to our law, your minimum fret must be 3 millimeters. So we check the fret, then we do the pressure check on the tire. But because sometimes you get that your rear tires is 2.5 PCI and your front tires is 1.8. So we do the fret check and we set the pressure accordingly. And that is how we do the tire check. For the next one is our wheel alignment. We've got a state-of-the-art 3D wheel alignment machine here. So first of all, how it works, we put the car on the left, we jack the car up. Then you can go to the computer, you select what vehicle it is, what year model, so that you can get the exact details of what vehicle it is. Okay, if you have all the details on the computer, you've got set points on your car. So you can set your toe and you can set your camber. Now what that means, on that set points is normal points that you can set. So if you drive on a gravel road or somewhere over speed humps, not the correct way, your set points is going out. So that means that your wheels will, either on the inside or the outside, they will de-integrate. So what we do is we set the toe in the camber again, that is 100% correctly, and then from there on you have another 5,000 to 10,000 kilometers that you can drive. But we recommend 5,000 kilometers for wheel alignment, except if you have driven a long road, except if it's gravel road. Rather come in, we can just check your wheel alignment. We don't have to set it, it's for free. But then you know your tires is safe. first thing, if you take off the tire, you've got a bead breaker. So you take all the wind out of the tire, that the bead come loose from your rim. Then your next step is to take the tire off the rim. And that is how fast it is to take a tire off the rim. Let's quickly put it back for me. Ship. Soap. Put tire light on the tire, just to prevent the bead area not to break. You put it on. And that is that. So if you've done with this, you put pressure into the tire, and then you do the wheel balancing. After you put the tire on the rim, and you've put pressure into it, you do the wheel balancing. The wheel balancing is small little weights that you put around the tire to see that there's no vibration on your car, on your steering wheel if you drive. We've got a state-of-the-art machinery. It tells you how much weight must come inside or outside. For instance, that one shows this must come 15 grams inside. So we clean the rim. First, you must clean the rim because you've got a stick-on wheel weight. And if that is done, your vibration, everything is out of the steering wheel. Yeah, and there it's done. So after that, you take the wheel, you put it back on the car, and the client can drive safely off.
Regularly check your vehicle's headlights for damage, dimness and proper alignment. Test both high and low beams and keep the headlights clean. Replace bulbs as needed following your vehicle's manual. If issues persist, consult a professional for a thorough inspection. Maintaining optimal headlight performance ensures safe driving, especially at night.
And that brings us to the end of yet another exciting edition of my.na Cars. Thank you for spending the last 30 minutes with me, Diana Master, as we learned all about tires here at Tyre Smart. Now you can catch my.na Cars every Thursday, DStv channel 285, GOtv channel 25. And this episode was proudly brought to you by Enjoy Namibia. I'll see you again next week Thursday.